In this video, we are going to learn how you can automate job application process using Pabbly Connect. So let's take an example that you are the HR of a company and you have shared the job description with the new applicants where you have mentioned the job position along with a code word. Now you have created a form, that is a job application form, using your Google Forms account, and you have shared that form with all the new applicants. Now you want that whenever the form is filled by the applicant and when the job position matches with the code word, then automatically a mail should be sent to the new applicant for applying for the assessment test, and then automatically, using the details of the form submission, a new task should get created into your Asana account so that your team can work upon the further application process. For that, you need to integrate your Google Forms with Gmail and then with Asana also. So how you can integrate all these software applications using Pabbly Connect? For that, you need to come to my screen. So welcome to my screen. Here let us type Pabbly, pabbly.com in our browser. This is the website of Pabbly. Now if you are a new user, you have to just click on sign up for free button and you can create your own account in just 2 minutes and you're going to get free task every month. If you're already a user of Pabbly Connect, simply click on sign in. In the all apps section, come to Pabbly Connect and click on access now. This is the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. Here we have to create a workflow. For that, come to this plus sign and click on create workflow. Now here we have to give a name to the workflow. So let us give the name as automate job application process. Here you can give the workflow name as per your requirement and simply click on create. Now we can see a trigger window and an action window. So Pabbly Connect works on the concept of trigger and action. Trigger means when this happens, action means do this. So in this particular use case, we want that whenever a job application form is filled, automatically the applicant should receive a mail for appearing for a competency test, and then using the same details, a new task should get created into your Asana account. For that, first we are going to integrate our forms with Pabbly Connect. So I'm just going to open this trigger window, and as I have created my forms using my Google Forms account, here I'll be choosing the application name as Google Forms. Now select the trigger event as new response received. Now we can see a webhook URL and some instructions. So by following these instructions, we can set up the webhook in our Google Forms. So let us read few of them. Google Forms responses are collected in Google Sheets. So follow the below steps in order to get the new response. Go to the form on which you want to take the submission and make the last question as required for the trigger. Okay. For that, I'll just take you to the Google form which I have already created, that is job application form, where I am collecting the details of the candidate, that is the name, his email address, mobile number, work experience and the code word which I have provided or the HR has provided in the job description. Okay. Now as it was mentioned in the instruction, we have to make the last question as required for the trigger over here. So you have to make the last question as required over here. Okay. Now here let's move to the responses tab, and here you can see I don't have any response, 0 responses. So first let us fill the form so that we can capture the responses by clicking on this I button. And here we are going to enter the details of a candidate. Let's give the name as demo name, email address as demo@pabblytuts.com. Let's enter the mobile number. Work experience as 5 years. Okay, and here I'm just going to give the code word as HR011. Okay, and now let's click on submit. So the form has been filled. Now let's move to the Google form, and here in the responses tab we can find one response received. Okay, and the details of the applicant are captured over here in the response. Now as we have seen in the instruction, it was mentioned that the Google form responses are collected in Google Sheets. So now we are going to link the Google Sheet. For that, we have to just click on these 3 dots, click on select response destination. Now it is asking us to create a new spreadsheet, or you want to select the existing spreadsheet. So I am going to create a new spreadsheet and the name would be job application form responses. If you want to change the name, you can just change it over here. And let's click on create. Linking to spreadsheet. Spreadsheet is linked. Now to access the spreadsheet, we have to just click on this green sign, view responses in sheets. Okay, and here you can see that the response is captured over here in the Google Sheet. Okay, we can find the name as demo name, his email address, mobile number of the applicant, work experience along with the code word. So now we are going to link this particular Google Sheet with Pabbly Connect so that all the response details are captured over here. For that, we have to just copy this webhook URL from here. Let's move to the sheet once again. Come to extensions, come to add-ons and click on get add-ons. Now it will take us to Google Workspace Marketplace. Here we have to search for Pabbly Connect webhooks. Now you have to install Pabbly Connect webhooks on your system. As you can see that it is already installed on my system, I'm just going to close this window. But remember, after installing Pabbly Connect webhooks on your system, you have to refresh your Google Sheet. I repeat, after installing Pabbly Connect webhooks on your system, you have to refresh your Google Sheet. Now come to extensions once again, come to Pabbly Connect webhooks and click on initial setup. And now here it is asking for the webhook URL and the trigger column. Now here we have to paste the webhook URL that we have copied from Pabbly Connect. And now it is asking for the trigger column. The trigger column will be your final data column on which if the data is added, the whole of that row data will be sent to the webhook URL. So here you can see that I have the data from column A till column F and I want the data to be captured till column F. So my trigger column will be column F over here. Say if you have the data till column I and you want the data to be captured till column I, then your trigger column will be column I over here. Okay. Now let's click on send test. Test data sent successfully and let's click on submit. Setup configured successfully. Okay, now let's close this window. Now again we have to come to extensions, Pabbly Connect webhooks and click on send on event. So why we are selecting this option? Just because next time whenever the Google form will be filled and the details will be captured in this particular Google Sheet, automatically Pabbly Connect is going to capture the details. We don't have to link these details again and again. So make sure you have a tick mark on the send on event option over here. Okay. Now let's move back to Pabbly Connect. And when we scroll down here, we can find that the response is received and all the details of the form submission are captured over here. The name as demo name, email address of candidate as demo@pabblytunes.com, his mobile number, work experience along with the code word. Okay. So now we'll be checking that the code word provided by the candidate is for which position. For that, we are going to apply a lookup table over here. So let's scroll down, come to this action window and here choose the application name as lookup table. Select the action event as lookup table. Click on connect. And now it is connected. Now here we have to give the lookup key. So what we want to search in the table. So the lookup key will be the code word provided by the applicant in the form submission. So now we are going to map this particular code word over here. Okay, as lookup key. So come to the trigger response and from here let us map the code word. Now here we are not specifying any fallback value and here we'll be specifying the labels. So if the code is HR011, then the code is for junior HR executive. Let's add some more labels over here. If the code is HR012, then it is for senior HR executive. Okay. And if the code is HR013, then it is for HR manager. So we have specified the code words for various designations. Okay. So we have given 3 codes and 3 values. So now let us check whether this particular code belongs to which particular designation. So let's check the condition by clicking on save and send test request. And here we can see that it is success and the code is for junior HR executive position. Okay. We have given the label as junior HR executive. Now here there can be a condition that the code given by the candidate in the form submission may be incorrect. For that, we are going to just apply a filter over here that this particular workflow should run further only if the code provided by the candidate is correct and the status received in the response over here is success. So let's scroll down, click on this plus sign to add an action step. And here we are going to apply a filter. So basically filter is the if condition. If this particular condition satisfies, then only the workflow should run further. So here we are going to select the label. So come to lookup table and select the label as status. Okay, and the filter type will be equal to and the value would be success. Okay, so if the status is success, then only the workflow should run further. Because if the candidate is going to provide the wrong word, then here the status would be failed. Okay, so in that case, the workflow will not run further. So if the status will be success, then only the workflow is going to run further. So let's click on save and send test request over here. Okay, and here we have got the response status as success, message condition is true. Okay, so now we want this workflow to run further after a specified period, just because we want to show that the humans are working and the process is not automated. For that, we are going to apply a delay over here. Okay, so let's scroll down and let's click on this plus sign to add an action step. And here we'll be selecting the application name as delay. Now it is asking how much delay you want to put in the workflow. So we want to put delay for, and here we have to give the units, that is minutes, hours, days. So I want to just give it some minutes and the value would be 15 minutes. So after 15 minutes, the workflow is going to run further. Let's click on save and send test request. And here in the response, we have got the status as success and the message as delayed for 15 minutes. So after 15 minutes, the workflow is going to run further. Okay. Now we want to send a mail after 15 minutes to the candidate to appear for a competency test. So click on this plus sign and here we are just going to apply the action step of Gmail. Select the action event as sent email. Click on connect. Click on add new connection and click on connect with Gmail. Now it is asking me to choose an account to continue to Pabbly Connect. So I'm just going to choose my account. Now it is asking for the additional access. So let's scroll down and click on continue to give over the access over here. Authorization successful, and now the Gmail account is connected to Pabbly Connect. Now here it is asking for the recipient email address to whom you want to send the mail. So we have already got the mail details from the trigger response over here through the form submission. So now we are going to map the details. Okay, for mapping, let's scroll down. Just click it over here. Come to the response of trigger, that is from Google Forms, and from the drop down we are going to select the email address. Now here if you want to specify some CC or BCC email address, you can just give it over here. Now it is asking for the sender name. So let us give it as Pabbly Hiring Team. Okay, I'm just giving a random name over here. Now here it is asking for the email subject. So here I have entered the subject as Pabbly invites you to take the competency test. Now here we have to select the email content type as plain, and here we have to give the email content, that is the message you want to send to the applicant via mail. So here the message is, dear, thank you for your interest in Pabbly. We know that a lot of time and effort goes into a job application and we appreciate that you took the time to apply for this position. You have been invited to take the assessment competency test. Here the test link is attached. The duration of this test is for 30 minutes. Regards, Pabbly Hiring Team. So in this way, the message will be delivered to the applicant. And here after dear, I want the name of the candidate to be displayed. So here I'll be mapping the name from the trigger response. That is from Google Forms and the name was demo name. Okay, so here you can see it here, dear demo name. In this way, the message will be delivered. Now, if you want to send some attachment, you can just give the attachment URL over here and the file name over here. Okay, and now let's click on save and send test request. Okay, and here we can see the response is received, and in the response we have got the result status as sent. It means the mail has been sent to the candidate. Let's check it. Okay, and here we have got the mail from Pabbly Hiring Team. Let's read the mail. Dear demo name. So here we can see that the applicant name is displayed correctly. And here we can see that the correct message is generated and it is delivered. Okay, now let's move back to Pabbly Connect. So now we wanted using these details, automatically a new task should get created into your Asana account so that your team can work upon the further application process. So let's scroll down, click on this plus sign to add an action step. And here we are going to choose the action application as Asana. Select the action event as create a task. Click on connect, click on add new connection and click on connect with Asana. Authorization successful. And now the Asana account is connected to Pabbly Connect just because I was already logged into my Asana account. So make sure before creating a connection, you are logged into your Asana account. Now here the workspace name is automatically captured as my workspace. Here you have to select your workspace name and here you have to select your project ID. Okay, here I am selecting my project ID. Now it is asking for the task name. What should be the new task name? So here I'll just take you to my Asana account where you can see I don't have any task over here. Okay, so now we are going to create a new task. So let's give the task name as new shortlisted candidate. And after that, I'll just give the name of the candidate, that is demo name. Okay, this will be the task name. And here we are going to enter the details of the candidate. Let us give it as the name of the candidate, demo name, his email address. Let us map it from the response, his mobile number or the phone number, his work experience. Again, let us map it over here. And here we are going to add the position also, for which position the applicant has applied for. So here we have got the position from the lookup table. So we are going to map this particular position now, that is junior HR executive. Okay. Now, if you want to specify some due at date or due on date, you can just give it over here. But make sure here, if you are specifying the due at, it should be in YY, MM and DD format along with the time zone. Or if you are specifying due on date, then it should be in YY, MM and DD format. And you have to just give either of them. Okay. Now here we have to select the assignee name. So I want this task to be assigned to Ashmita Mandal. So I have selected the same assignee name over here. And I'm just going to click on save and send test request now. Okay, and here we can see the response is received. It means a new task is created into our Asana account. Let's check it. Okay, and here we have got a new task created, new shortlisted candidate demo name. And here we can see this task is assigned to Ashmita Mandal. Let us check the task details. And here we have got the description, name of the candidate, his email address, his mobile number, experience, and the position also. So in this way, we can see that our integration is working fine. Let's move back to Pabbly Connect and let us save this workflow first. Data saved successfully. Okay. Now we have set up an automation. This is a one-time process. Next time, whenever the form will be filled and the details will be captured in the Google Sheet, then automatically, if the code word matches with the job position, then a mail for the competency test will be sent to the candidate, and then a new task will get created into your Asana account also. So now we are going to check this in the real time, that whether our integration is actually working fine or not. For that, I'm just going to change the delay time over here. Okay, because we have given the delay that this workflow should run after 15 minutes. So here I'm just going to change the time to 2 minutes. Okay, and let's click on save and send test request. So it is delayed for another 2 minutes. Now we are going to fill up the form on the name of some other candidate. So let's give the candidate name as dummy candidate. Let's give the email address as dummy@pabblytudes.com. Let's enter the mobile number. Work experience as 8 years. And here I'm just going to give the code word as HR013. And let's click on submit. So here we can see that the form has been filled. Now we have to wait for another 2 minutes just to check whether the mail is sent to the candidate or not for appearing for the competency test. So now it's almost 2 minutes. I'm just going to check the email address. And here we can see a new mail from Pabbly hiring team. Dear dummy candidate, thank you for your interest in Pabbly. And here we can see that the same mail has been sent. And I'm very sorry, I have given an incorrect spelling over here. I have just given U instead of Y. Okay. But here we can see that our integration is working fine and the mail is sent for dummy candidate this time. Okay. Now let us check whether a task is created into our Asana account or not. Okay. And here we have got the new task created, new shortlisted candidate, dummy candidate assigned to Ashmita Mandal. Let's check the task details also. And here we can see the name of the candidate as dummy candidate, his email address, mobile number, work experience as 8 years and the position as HR manager this time. Okay, so in this way we can see that our integration is perfectly working fine. So let's move back to Pabbly Connect and now I'm just going to change the delayed time over here. Instead of 2 minutes, let us give it as 15 minutes back and I'm just going to save it. Data saved successfully. Okay, now I'm just going to minimize all these windows and let us see in a nutshell whatever we have done till now. Okay, I'll just minimize the action step as well as the trigger window also. Okay, so first we have created an integration between Google Forms and Pabbly Connect so that whenever the form is filled, automatically the details are captured in Pabbly Connect. Then we have applied a lookup table over here just to check whether the code given by the candidate is for which position. Okay, so we have find the position using the lookup table. Then we have applied a filter over here just to specify. We have given the if condition that if the code is correct according to the position, then only this particular workflow should run further.
Okay, then we have applied a delay over here of 15 minutes so that it should look like that the humans are working and this is not an automated process. And then we have sent a mail to the candidate for appearing for the competency test. And then using all these details, we have created a new task in our Asana account so that our team can work upon the further application process. And in this way, we have learned that how we can automate job application process using Pabbly Connect. Thank you.
So not just these software applications, you can integrate a ton of applications and automate your business using Pabbly Connect. In case of any queries, you can visit our Pabbly forum. To check the pricing details of Pabbly Connect, you can visit this particular URL. Also, the link of Pabbly Connect and this workflow is available in the description box. You can clone the same workflow into your account directly. If you really like this video, please comment, share and subscribe. Thank you everyone.